All right. C1x report. No idea what day it is. 40, 41, 42, somewhere in there. It's been, I think, at least a week since my last video. Still been working on C1x, but all my work on the app over the past few weeks now, it feels like, has largely not been coding. It's mostly been around getting things set up for launch, and it's come in like 20 and 30-minute bursts. So not something I thought was worth sitting down and filming, but still in the process of getting some custom C1x minis made. That's been a work in progress. Set a tentative launch date of September 30th. Was initially targeting the 26th, moved it to the 30th in the hope that that would give the vendor I'm getting the minis from a little bit more time to get things ready. I'm not going to push that back anymore, so if the mini guy continues to drop the ball, then we will, not really continues to drop the ball, but if it takes longer to place the order than I was anticipating, I'll hold the launch date and we'll just get the minis a little bit later. I don't want to release a disc golf app in the winter, so what else have I been doing? We created a bunch of graphics. I created a bunch of graphics for launch. I like to say we. I don't know why. Sent out a email newsletter announcing the new launch date. I'm going to do some giveaways, trying to get things set up for those. I wanted to get all of the Pro Tour courses into the app. Had some ideas on how I could implement that. I built a little spreadsheet here to make that process a lot faster. So this way I can really just enter the course name, this general information. These actually should not... what's in blue is the only thing I need to change. But yeah, I just enter whole pars, whole distances. It puts things in the format that I need to copy into my global course list. Obviously, I still need to format these a little bit, but I wanted to hold off on doing that just yet because I might be moving some stuff around with respect to how I handle the JSON file for that global list just to accommodate Pro Tour courses. So still a little TBD on that. But yeah, I have a list now of some stuff I actually want to sit down and code. Also, some things I just noticed throughout my own usage of the app. Disabling a button, pretty simple, just something that I think looks a little bit cleaner. I want to implement the ability to skip a hole. I'm not really sure how that's going to look yet, but I want to have that option. I've had a couple times now using C1x where I'm playing a course, there's park goers. One time there was someone doing course maintenance that they had a mini X on the hole that couldn't play. So I need some way to just skip that. But I don't know how I want to do that yet. I just know I want it. Showing totals for some stats. So in the app, like C1x putting here, I'm not sure where I would implement it yet, but it would be really nice to show actual numbers next to some of these. Yeah, again, not quite sure where yet. Birdie conversion rates, putting comebacks. There's a few things that... in addition to the percentages, I want actual numbers. So that's where that one's coming in. The only real bug I found was that if you log a penalty stroke in the apps, let's say fairway and the penalty throwing from the fairway, if I hit undo, the red flag just stays. It doesn't go away. Something I hadn't noticed previously, so I want to fix that. And then figure out what to do with these global courses. So this is a list of things that I'm going to try to get into an update before I actually launch. That was the biggest thing. So C1x, I think when I filmed the last video, it would have been approved by Apple. So still approved by Apple. I could release C1x on Apple right now with one button press. But I did later last week finally get the approval from Google. So C1x is now approved on Android as well. I do still have to submit an updated build to Google, but generally what I just got the approval on is the hard part. I've never actually had Google, well, they don't look at my app in the first part either, but they don't really look at anything as far as I can tell in the second part. Typically whenever I'm pushing out the actual app build or new updates, Google has it approved within an hour. And generally it's just as long as it takes for, I think, it to get uploaded into their system. Apple's typically a day or two, but at the point that I'm at now, I think Google should be pretty streamlined. So I'm going to try and get these in and into the app for launch. Definitely possible for Google. It will happen for Google. For Apple, I might have to launch the initial version and then do an update. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, we're nearing the finish line. It's going to be a shorter video today, I think. Might try and tackle the easy ones on this list, and then I'll maybe think off video about how I want to do the rest of these. But yeah, so we're going to start with that. Does that create issues? No. All right. With that first item. So set name button. What was that noise? I don't know. I want this button to be disabled unless there's something in that text field. So I want set name to not be turned on there, kind of like how the change distances button is, the confirm one. So we're going to go to my add course view. Let's find where it says confirm. Oh, that's it. Okay. New course name. That's interesting. It's obviously working, but why is it working for new course name? Am I looking at the right thing? I'm absolutely not looking at the right thing. Okay. Disregard. I'm not even on the right view. For some reason, I thought I was on the add a course view. That was making no sense to me for a second there. All right. Round display. Here we go. Confirm. Change distances. All right. So change distances. It's change distances pressed. Did that reset actually? It did. Interesting. Where do I set? Let's actually let's get the version here. I gotta go turn that notification off. Oh, okay. Get my version history up here. I'm just gonna include everything I do here on the version 1.0.0, since technically it is still going to be for launch. Where are we at here? Keyword type, style, new round name, set state, distance. Am I not? I guess I'm displaying it here. New round distances. All right, where do I set new round distances? Somewhere right up here. Okay, so we're just gonna reset it every time that button is hit. So every time edit is hit. do I don't know if I need it in a set state. I think we're probably fine there. I might be able to fix this with just a hot reload. All right, so 5, click out of it, hit edit again. Perfect. Okay. So we're just gonna say visual improvements to changing distances on round summary view. And then I do need to disable that button still. So on. Here we go. Cancel set name. Is change distances pressed. And the first one is set name. All right, so if change distance is pressed. Yep, and then what is, let's go do that so I can find it. Where's my first text field here? Change distances, whole new distance. Text field. This is a 4. Let's this feels like a good ChatGPT moment. This is thinking about using this as a flyer as well for C1x. I've got a course in a disc golf shop that I'm going to throw a flyer up at for launch. But have the below text field in my app with the text field value changing new round distances. Round distances to another value called round distances index at view launch. How can I check whether new round distances differs from round distances index as a true false value? That I think is what I want, as long as that is actually an argument. Oh, it is. I'm already. That's literally the exact thing I already had. Okay. Oh, but this isn't for distances. This is. Yeah, this is me being stupid. Okay. Thinking of the wrong thing here. What is the text field there? New round name. Changed round name equals value. What happens right now if I type something into there and then go back? It's still there. That's what I figured. Okay. So here I need a changed round name. Yeah, what do I initialize it as? That. All right. So every time that edit button is hit, we're going to reset the round name as well. distances. Name on round summary view. Okay. And so then here we can just go this change distances pressed and changed round name is equal to that. All right, now let's do a quick reset. So the goal is on that reset, we should be resetting the name now every time the edit button is hit. And if it's blank, that set name button should be null. Yes, beautiful. And so now if I go type something in here, we click out of it, I go back into it. Why is it not reset? Date. Thought that was going to be so easy. Why didn't it work? Change round name is equal to that. Is that not what I'm displaying? Changed round name, course name, controller. Do I need to clear the controller? I forget, it's been a little while. Set state, changed round name. Maybe I need to do that. Let's do another reset now. See if that does the trick. They got the set name button to be disabled. I just want the name to actually reset if someone clicks out of that. You make sure, like if I do this, hole 3, 250, back to 272. So let's set name, we'll go test. Did not undisable itself though, so that did work. All right, text field new round name, on changed, set state. New round name, set state. Maybe. Maybe I'm just putting it inside the incorrect one there. Let's try doing another reset. Seems like we're close there. Test. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, okay. So I think we're good there. It's now working as intended. So check. All right, and then that penalty issue. Let's go find where I display it first. Turn. Last. If does penalty graphic need to be shown? All right, does penalty graphic needs to be shown? And I think I'm just not updating that on the undo button at all. Yeah, definitely not. If throwing options. Times 2 plus call. Okay, so I need to go up to the undo button. Undo. All right, so somewhere in here, we need to reset. So we can do a does penalty graphing needs to be shown equals false. And then thinking it might be as easy as is not empty, else throwing count 1. So if new shot data current hole is not empty and data current hole minus 1. No, I don't think this works. So this can actually, we can simplify this a little bit. If shot data current hole minus 1 last is equal to all labels. And then here we do a or new shot data current hole minus 1 length is greater than 1 and new shot data current hole minus 1 Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And then here we do a does equals true. Okay, let's do a reset on that. That might be enough to fix it. So basically just on the undo button now, I was never updating that value. So the issue is that it wasn't working because the code was never in there, but we're just defaulting it to false every time undo is hit. And then this is my check to see if it still needs to be shown. And I'm just checking whether the last value or 2 values ago equals all labels penalty. In reality, I probably only need this code, but this is a nice failsafe in case something trips up the undo button for some reason. I can still show the penalty flag if needed. So fairway, penalty in the fairway, and then we undo to the first. Here, let's go penalty to C1. Let's undo. Seems like it should be working. Undo to the penalty area. Yeah, I think we're good. And it should never mess up scoring or anything because I'm only updating. The only thing I updated here was this flag to be true or false, and the only thing that's tied to is just showing the flag here. So I think we're fixed there too. Fixed bug or penalty flag. Show scoring view when the undo button was pressed. Well, not always show, would never go away. Okay. So that's fixed now too. These two are going to be a little bit tougher. Showing totals is also not going to be easy, but that's just because I don't know where to fit them. I don't think I want to fit them on this view. So ideally it would be me throwing them down here. But it is already kind of crammed. And it's not the most important, but really just on the putting and driving stats here, I would love to show the actual numbers, but there really isn't room. Yeah. Let's go to all stats. Excuse me. Is it the radial that I call organization? Radial putting stats on the widget factory for radial multi-ring radial chart. Yep. Okay. So I was wondering, at least on the driving stats, if I can get away with showing the numbers next to the text here. Which might be a bit much, yeah. Am I getting... I'm getting fractions. Can I do a print here? That's exactly what I wanted. All right. 1 and 4. Am I doing this in a for loop? Probably not. Yeah. Graph title, stack, custom painter. If text on rings, column list, generate ring count. Oh, so I do just create it here though. And then pulling the fractions from that. So I could maybe do like, yeah, is that crazy? That's on the wrong one. So hold on, let's back that out. Get rid of that. That must be down here then on the ring painter. That makes that work, so then I just have to update the call here. Fractions. And they are required there anyway, so let's do an update here. Yeah, I mean, it's fine for when the ring goes all the way around, but for smaller stats like parked, it looks pretty silly. Excuse me. So I don't know if I love that. But if it doesn't go there, I don't know where else to throw the totals. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit them there, but that might be my only real bet here. Let's go save that so those aren't showing anymore. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And let's step back. Let's go to my round infographic. Do I call that small radial? Score distance. Build whole score summary. Build whole score summary. Small ring radial chart for sharing. Small radial. Small ring radial chart. I mean, it fits technically. Technically it fits. I don't know where are these numbers. Oh, they're flipped. Why are they not passing the right fractions? Really? Because I guess the fractions are being used for the rings, and this is the way they're set up. Yeah. Oh, but I can do label fractions. Hold on. Can I do that? There we go. All right. And it gives me the right numbers at least. It's like I gotta have them in there somewhere. But that is just a lot going on. I think that looks cleaner. Where do I show the totals then? Do I show them? Is that just a silly idea? I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a loss here. I want to show the totals, but I did not set up. Really, the main ones I want to show them on are these rings, and I did not set these up in a way to. I do already have them up here, so I could at least on putting on the big one shrink the text and add in the percentages. That is a possibility. Probably one worth considering. Where's that label text? There we go. That's better. And at least you get the full stat down here. I think that's important. So I will probably stick with that. And then I guess the real question is that going to break something on my... Do I need that actually? Let me get rid of that. And they do expand too much. Text width is equal to text painter width. Am I calculating font size? Too big still? Maybe a little bit. I mean, I know that's going to work on a bigger phone. This is all like something I could do. Is we could come up here and we could say final values text is equal to, and then I grab this, that goes in there, we add this, I get rid of it here, and then I do something like just throwing it on the end, values text. Whoa, get bigger, there we go. too much. It's tight fit. It is a tight fit. Does that add space? I can't tell. It does. I thought the vertical line would take up less space, but it does not work that way. I could maybe get rid of the parentheses, since I'm already distinguishing it by text size. Is that just stupid? I can't tell. That doesn't look good, but I really want those values to be shown. I could also just not show the percentages here and only show. Like I've got the percentages up here. That's a thought. It's probably a good thought. So like that. Oops. That needs this too. Yeah. And then I can do the same thing down here for the driving one. I went by it. Where is it at? There we go. Values text. Why isn't that working? Oh, maybe I need that. Can I do that then? Yeah, I can. It's an issue that I might run into anyways, but like just the 18 getting cut off here. But then you can at least see those numbers. You have the percentages up here. If I go to all-time stats, yeah, same thing here. That is going to create some issues when those numbers get really big, though, isn't it? That we could do the text based on that. That's actually a good idea. Label text. Okay, so I think then what I can do here is we can go display values text, and then that becomes label text. And then I just want to use that everywhere, like this. And doing this so that the all stats view, which I'm on right now, shows the percentages, but the single round summary view shows those numbers. So we'll leave it there for a sec. I've got the text style, text and values text. That's just text. This for round display is not getting past here, but I need it, so display, comma, required this dot is for round display. So then that should work now. Yeah. And then text needs to be J, text J. And then I think I just need to pass this for round display and we should be good. Yep, just like that. All right, let's do a reset. We'll just give me a good double check here. All right, so we'll go to the round summary first. Ideally here, we get the numbers, percentages are good here, and then I am getting the percentages there. Did I do that backwards? Everything's giving me percentages. Am I passing is for round display? Maybe that's the real question. Label text is equal to percentage, values text equal to that is for round display, should be values text. That's what I should be showing, so I must not be passing it. Round scorecard, no, not scorecard, round display. Do Rotate around distances, icon. Stat explanation dialog, scoreboard row. Stat display infographic. That's the small ring. Okay, so yeah, not the infographic. And then delete round. Something is throwing me for a loop here. Total distance. Whole scoring segmented bar. This is my whole score summary. Then we're on to that. That's it. So then a Y. Stat display infographic, not round display. Ooh, okay. Gesture detector, then we go build widget. Is for round display is equal to false. Do I call it round display? I say it's true. I'm confused now. This stuff is round display. Is for round display. Yeah, it is showing us false there, but I'm calling it from the round display view. I pass it as true. Stat display infographic gets called. It should be true there. Just give me a reload here. It's true there. True. This is for round display. But when I call stat widget factory, get the bool, it is for round display. For radial, I'm just never passing it. Why was I doing that? I don't know. That should fix it though. Let's do the reset and we'll assume that I'm not breaking anything. Yeah, so I do get the values there. And now if I go to all stats, they're the percentages, which is perfect. So it's working. All time is what's showing. Let's go reduce a filter and just make sure that still works as intended. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's good enough. There's not a great way for me to get around that. The simple thing would be to reduce the borders around those rings, but I'm afraid of messing something else up there. Alright, so we're going to go putting and driving stats now show individual. Now show makes attempts addition to percentages on individual round summaries. And I don't think there's any other stats that I really want to show or care to show those whole values for yet. It's really for the putting and the driving stats. I think that's good enough. And then you can get the percentages up here. Yeah. Okay. We're going to call that good, showing totals. And I think I'm going to call it there for the day. I'll have to think about how I'm going to implement these two options. I'll do those in a separate video. And then get the update push for those to Apple and Google. Probably going to continue doing the marketing stuff off video just because I don't do it really in long sessions. So it's a couple emails here, 10 minutes making a graphic, etc. So, but I will do a video for the new global course feature. My main idea right now is to have a separate tab, like a little toggle up here or something for Pro Tour courses, and then have that be the only thing that it shows. I am noticing that my implementation did work, so all of the Pro Tour courses are in here, all the ones with the MPO or FPO after it. So we've got a whole bunch of new courses that do appear to be working, which means my spreadsheet works, which is good. All of these one-liners are the new ones I added. I'm still missing a few for next year, but that's because the caddy books form aren't up yet. So, but thinking about like they're in the same structure as these. They're just not spaced out at the moment. And trying to decide if I want to do my own a separate JSON file just for the Pro Tour courses, or if I want to add a value here that's like tag, and I could tag these as DGPT courses. Just an easy way to categorize them so I can show them here in a separate view. I could do the, if they contain an NPO or FPO, but I may get away from that at some point. I could give more information on the Pro Tour courses as well. We could space it out by, right now they're all named by event. They could be named by course. Yeah. I might end up breaking it out separately just because that'll give me more flexibility to make it a pretty clean look, which is going to be hard to obtain sticking with this structure. I can't really break out like tournament name by course name, add the Pro Tour tag, etc. So I'm kind of leaning towards a new JSON file for it, and then we'll just have to get all the structure in place to read it, just like I do the global courses, which wouldn't be too hard. And then I'll need to update my spreadsheet as well to include those tags. So what I'll probably end up doing is creating that new file, copying all these in place, and then just creating the new tag system and dropping those in as well. And I'm going to need a coarse one, but I think I can do that all pretty quick. I'll do that all on video. But yeah, kind of a bland video, but got a couple things implemented, and be back probably tomorrow or the day after with those last 2 fixes there. So, and I got to figure out how I'm going to implement skipping a hole. That will be a challenge. That's going to require a lot of code updates, just because all my scoring, all the stats are based off of every single hole having information. That's going to be something that I try to implement and then end up having 100 different bugs to fix, I think. So we'll see. We'll see if I can come up with a creative way to do that without risking uploading a build at launch that's just going to break for everybody. So TBD, but I'm going to call it there for today. Very low energy video today, but that's all right. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.